Big Brian here, SLC Audio, and today we're going to talk about patch bays. Now the question comes up from time to time, and I'm sure it's going to come up again. Students will ask me, do I really need a patch bay, and why do I need one? So let's take a look at why you might need a patch bay and how to operate it.
The patch bay, or Jackfield, is essentially the heart of your studio. Just as your heart sends and receives life-giving blood, so the patch bay extends the essence of life or signal to all components of your studio. From large commercial studios to small home studios, chances are that you're going to find a patch bay. Let's take a look at some very stripped down elements and talk why the need for a patch bay. Each of these elements are represented in different locations and in different combinations in studios. Let's start by breaking down basic signal flow. I have a microphone and a wall plate. Sound travels into the microphone, gets converted into a signal, travels out the microphone into the wall plate. This wall plate is going to terminate at a jack or patch point. Following signal flow, the signal flows out of the wall plate into the patch bay and again terminates at the out or upper row of the patch bay. Let's talk for just a minute here. Why doesn't a patch bay start in at the top and out at the bottom?
This is a good question. Why doesn't a patch bay start in at the top and out at the bottom? Well, the most complicated studio can be very easily navigated by reading the patch bay top down. Since we're taking the microphone from its wall plate position first, and that's the first point on the patch bay, the upper row of the patch bay here makes sense for that to be the first point or the out. That point is then going to travel from here down into the second point, which is going to lead to where the microphone has to get converted into signal or amplified signal from the preamp. The preamp is then going to return to the out point, and then finally that lower point is going to terminate back in at the A to D converter.
We followed signal flow from the microphone to the A to D converter. Well, that was pretty easy, but why didn't we just connect a few XLRs and call it good? Well, if you never plan on changing your studio setup, maybe you don't need a patch bay. But I know engineers and we love our toys. So let's take another look at why a patch bay is awesome. We need to get the mic signal into the preamp, but this time we also want to grab some compression and EQ along the way. Your hardwired studio now becomes a jungle gym as you climb behind your equipment and add a few signal processors in line. Or you could simply reach for a patch cord and your patch bay. We take our signal from the patch bay out point, and now we're going to patch no longer in line, but over to another signal processor. By having my outs and ins in a similar fashion to before, I can introduce other elements into my signal flow simply by following the out over in that we set up earlier. The outs and ins of these processors are in line on the same patch bay. Now I can create an a la carte, pick and choose my flavor of processor before returning my patch cable to the A to D in.
Thanks for stopping by and checking out these patch bay basics. Make sure you guys come back to our next video where we talk about normaling in the patch bay. I want to thank Switchcraft for sending out this awesome product and allowing us to teach patch bay basics on it. I also want to thank NacPak Films for helping us put this together. Make sure you guys subscribe. I'm Big Brian from SLC Audio, and we'll see you guys next time.